Thought this game died? It did. It lost 90% of its user base after 2 months post-launch. But over the last 6 weeks, it's for the first time ever seeing an increase in players again. Because they've started adding new content. There's a great big content patch coming. And they're rejiggering the entire start of the game. But we're on the public test server now. Over the last 3 days of streaming, we've been testing out the newly re-engineered opening acts, basically. The first 25 levels or so. They've redone pretty much the whole experience. And it's so much better now. Tells the narrative better, builds the world better, feels better to work through. There's all this back and forth bullshit. The quests for the guilds and whatnot make a lot more sense now, and they're very, very thematically appropriate. Been a significant improvement, in my opinion, to what the game used to be. They've rejiggered a bunch of endgame stuff, made progress work a bit differently, make leveling work a bit differently, make upgrades work differently. The developers have actually legitimately put a ton of work in, and I believe it might be paying off. This game might be close to taking its first step on a true redemption arc. Also, new enemies. I don't remember that guy at all. That was an entirely new enemy type. Which is like maybe the 4th or 5th brand new enemy that I've seen. Not just new variants, but genuinely new. So yeah, Joshy, the game did die, but it got a bit better. I got better. I played at launch. I played in the closed alphas and betas as well a bit. Up to a couple of years before launch. I thought it showed a lot of promise. Got it at launch. Abandoned it within 6 to 8 weeks after launch because it just didn't quite deliver in the mid-game. And everybody kept talking about how the end game was just sort of eh. So I walked away. Yesterday was the first time I came back to it since then, in like the 10 months since. I'm on the public test server at the moment, checking out the brand new rejiggered starting experience, and it's a lot better. There's a lot of attention to detail they've done. I'm not sure it's worth a new player's money just yet, but it might be time for returning players to come back and give it another go. Like, if the devs keep working in the direction they're working, I think it's going to be just a fantastically improved experience that might legitimately redeem itself and actually get a fair chunk of its player base back. It's a bigger year one improvement than No Man's Sky had, than Fallout 76 had, which are two, recent games that I got severely burned on at launch. Their first big change patches, were less significant, I think. So yeah, hopeful. Reason to be encouraged, I think. The only issue is the rejiggered experience is the first 25 or so levels, which is what we've been playing through over the past 3 days. The mid-game is still unchanged, and the mid-game is where I fell off. But, they are going to change that. It's just not ready to test yet. They're just testing this, then they're going to do the mid-game stuff. So I'm not sure whether it's ready to come back to the game on retail servers yet, because the mid-game is still largely the same, I think. Some of the mechanics have changed, some of the systems have changed. They've streamlined a lot of the crafting. There's not 5 different tiers of reagents anymore, it's just one reagent for all that sort of stuff now. So a lot of that is a whole lot less fiddly and pain in the ass than it used to be. But yeah, once I'm done with this, I probably will go back to my main character on retail servers, have a bit of a tool around. I don't know whether I'll do that on stream or not. Either way, next weekend we're not streaming because I'll be at PAX, obviously, if I haven't mentioned that a few times already. But yeah, the player base for the retail servers has actually grown for the first time ever. Like at launch, there was about 900,000? Just shy of 1 million players anyway, wasn't it? And then 90% of the player base dropped off and never came back, and it was bleeding players for the entirety of the year. But the last 6 weeks or so, the playership has actually started to rise again as people come back to it. Try out the changes on the PTR here and experiment with the new endgame stuff. And it seems to be holding on to those players who have come back and had a poke, which is an encouraging sign as well. But, you know, we'll see. Also, I'm really liking the weapons they've added since I last played as well. The blunderbuss I'm carrying here, and the great sword on my back. Those are both new. The blunderbuss, I think, is in the retail servers at the moment. The great sword is only on the PTR test servers at the moment, but I am liking it. I think it might need to be tuned back a bit, because it does feel like it might be on the edge of OP, but then again, I haven't played the game recently, so I don't know what the balancing feels like these days. Said it a few times yesterday, I'm going to say it again now. This game had a lot of problems when it launched. How it looked was not one of them. Still think it's one of the best, if not the best looking MMO. Okay, I glitched. I can't seem to get my weapon out. There we go. You're right there, kitty. Right, I believe I might have lagged out completely. Oh yes, there it is. Lag detected. Haven't seen this screen since launch. Not since the first week of launch anyway. And they added a bunch of servers. But then the player base died to such an extent that no server was full. They have since merged a bunch of servers, so there are full servers again now. So of the 2 Australian worlds that are up, only one of them can be actually joined, which happens to be the one I got merged to. Good morning! Oh shit! Whoa! That was so dramatic, my hair changed colour briefly. Was that just a reflection of my glowy red sword? Woo! Thought I fell out of the world there for a second.
You did what? With a what?
Oh, jeez, camera! Camera! Stop! Stop, stop, stop! Jesus, what was that? I've said it a few times now, but I truly believe that New World is on the right path to having a proper redemption at this point. It's not there yet, but it's walking the right walk and talking the right talk to be properly called redeemed. Otherwise, it should have taken a little more time to work the game mechanics. Yeah, but, you know, that could be said about any game. You have to release at some point. Investors and publishers make a call that, you know, a game can spend forever in development just making everything a little bit better, and a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. But, you know, 2020 hindsight, yeah, they pulled the trigger too soon. Loved the beta when I was playing it. Yeah, me too. I was in some of the earliest alphas and the closed betas and stuff. Played it at least, you know, 2 years before the final version, well, before the release version went live. But, yeah. I really, really, really wanted this game to work, but as I said, I, like 90% of the rest of the player base, bounced off the game within 6 to 8 weeks of it launching because it just wasn't quite there in the way we wanted it to be. But this experience has given me hope back again, so. All the toxic grub started. Yeah, there was a lot of toxicity around as well, which was a bit of a pain. And yeah, my company fell apart because of all the server issues. The servers were too small and too crowded. So part of my company broke away and went to a different server, and that collapsed the rest of our company. So yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff that went wrong for the game. For me, my original character got deleted somehow, which was annoying. I remember that as well. Don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember being annoyed at having to re-roll a new character. Then the guild fell apart, then the game fell apart.